everybody. Welcome. It's great to be on here with you all. So, good afternoon to you all and welcome to We Are Fit and Well. So, just letting a few of you come on and join us live now. Lovely to see you all. Thanks for joining me, those that are popping on. So welcome to We Are Fit and Well. My name is Jade and I am going to be taking you through a 30-minute Pilates workout today. And in this workout, we are going to be incorporating a Pilates ball. So I've got a soft Pilates ball here. If you don't have a soft Pilates ball at home to hand, you could incorporate maybe like a small pillow, something like that, or feel free to make this whole class a mat-based Pilates class if you would prefer. So you don't have to incorporate the equipment if it doesn't work for you, if you don't have anything to hand at home, okay? So lovely to see you all, a few of you jumping on now. So I'll just give it a few more moments while others join in. So like I say, my name is Jade and I am going to be taking you through this live class today. So once we get started, I'll turn the comments off so that you can't see those at the bottom. And yeah, so a little bit of space, equipment if you have equipment to hand, and if you don't, feel free to improvise or to make it a mat-based Pilates class, okay? Great work. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the comments off so that you can't see the comments at the bottom of the screen. And yeah, we are good to get started. So welcome to the class today. My name is Jade and I am going to take you through this 30-minute Pilates class. I'm going to be incorporating the ball. If you don't have a soft ball, please feel free to use like a small pillow for some of the exercises or to do the whole thing as a mat-based class, okay? So let's begin. I'm going to start standing today. Hopefully you can see me all okay over here. I'm going to start standing and I'm going to place the ball between the knees, okay? So I'm going to pop the ball between the knees and I'm facing the length of the space or the mat in front of you, okay? Bringing the feet to hip distance apart, making sure the feet are parallel. Take a moment to do a big shoulder roll. Bring the shoulders all the way down the back and just let's reset our posture to begin, okay? So thinking of grounding down through the feet, lengthening through the spine and activating the abdominals already. We take a gorgeous breath in as we sweep the arms up towards the ceiling, a big full body stretch, and breathe out through the mouth as we float the arms back down by our sides. Again, inhaling through the nose as we sweep the arms up, lengthen and lift, and exhale as we bring the arms down by our sides. Can we add a rise as well? So inhaling, lifting the heels, finding that rise, and exhaling as we bring the arms down as we carefully lower our heels. One more time. Inhale, heels are coming up, arms are coming up, find that lift, that balance. And exhaling as we're lowering the heels and the arms. Now leaving the heels grounded, we inhale, lift the arms only. Find a Pilates roll down. So we lead with the arms, chin goes to the chest. Round the back as you curve the spine. Let the arms, the head fall heavy. Bend those knees, shifting the weight into the toes. Feeling that wonderful space through the back of the body, the backs of the legs, the back. Ensure you're shaking out through the head and shoulders. Completely let go here. And then we bend our knees generously as we walk our hands down. Let's arrive on all fours. Hands underneath shoulders and knees underneath hips. Relaxing those toes. From here, inhale into a cat and cow. So we look forwards as we tilt the pelvis up. And then we exhale, press away from the ground, chin to the chest and round the back. So inhale, looking forwards, opening up through the pelvis as you open through the chest. And exhale, thinking of a C shape as you press your back up towards the ceiling. Let's do that one more time. This is a lovely way to mobilize the back, to get some movement through the back chain of the body. This is our last cat pose here. Then we unravel, find a lengthened parallel to the ground, a lovely flat back. And making sure the neck is in line too. Draw the belly to the spine. Here we go. We tuck our toes under. We're going to find a little hover here. Breathing out as you try to lift the knees off the ground, and inhale as we carefully place them down. Again, so we breathe out as we lift those knees to a hover, and inhale as we lower. Let's make sure we're shifting the shoulders over the wrists and keeping that back lovely and flat here as we engage the tummy. We'll try this twice more, breathing out through the mouth as you lift the knees, inhaling as you lower, and we have one more lift here. Exhale, lift, and inhale as we lower back down. Lovely work. Okay, uncurling the toes. Let's slide that ball a little bit further through, so it's now between my ankles, and then we're going to find a supported child's pose. So bringing the bottom towards the heels or towards the ball, if you have a ball here. Reaching those arms forwards towards the top of the mat, and gradually just invite the forehead down in the direction of the ground. Let's take a gorgeous breath into the back of the body, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. One more breath here, opening up through the back, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. Gently, let's lift our bottom off the ball. Bring ourselves through to that all fours stance again. We're going to bring the ball with us, and if you'd like to join me, I place the ball underneath the right knee. So we're still on all fours, but I'm placing the ball underneath the right knee, and as you can see by my right foot, the toes are tucked under, okay? Gives you that extra bit of support. Let's press away from those hands, find that length in the spine. We exhale as we lengthen the left leg towards the wall behind you, and inhale as we bring that left knee back down towards the ground. Here we go. So breathe out as I lengthen the left leg. Try not to twist the hips here, and then inhale as we bring it in. So things to think about. Please make sure you're shifting the weight forward so the shoulders are over the wrists. Don't collapse into those hands though. We stay really strong here. Working on our balance, especially if you're using that ball as well. Obviously the balance is a little bit harder if we're on that unstable surface. We'll try two more here. Left leg's extending away, activating the belly. Try not to go too high with that left leg because you might start to arch into the lower back, okay? Going to do one more here. And then I'm going to invite you to join me for a hold. So we're going to extend that left leg away, pause there, find that lift, that space. Maybe stay here if you would like a little bit more, reaching the right arm forwards in line with the ear to find a pointer, and pausing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, replacing the right hand down, bringing the left knee down, and then carefully taking that ball out from underneath. Lovely work. Give your wrists a little shake or your hips a little shake if you need to. We'll repeat that on the other side. So if you're using a ball, it's going underneath the left knee. The toes are tucked under on the left-hand side. Reset your posture, slide the shoulders away from the ears, and we exhale as we extend the right leg, and inhale as we bring the right leg back in. So the right leg is extending. Please make sure it's not going too high, and also you're not twisting the hip to face the side. You want to keep the hips facing the ground here. Breathing out as we lengthen, and inhaling as we bring it back in. Slow and controlled, remember. Try not to go too quick. Try not to move the entire body. We're isolating into the leg here with the movements. We've got last 2. Remember, each side might feel very different. One side might feel easier or more stable than the other. Just do your best. That's all we can do. We're going to try and find that hold. So we lengthen the right leg. Find that hold here. Pause. And then possibly adding in the left arm. Please make sure it's opposite arm, opposite leg. Otherwise you will be very wobbly. We stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, bringing the left hand down, resetting the right knee down, and then slowly taking that ball out. Well done. This time, take the ball all the way through. It's going between the ankles. So the ball is between my ankles, tucking both toes under, and then lifting the knees, finding a little piked position here as you press the hips up towards the ceiling. Let the heels, the ball fall heavy to the ground and find that space through the spine. Taking a little ripple, so lift the heels and ripple the body forwards. Unravel, finding a high plank if we can. So squeeze the shoulders together, draw the belly into the spine. And then lift the hips, coming back into that piked position. Try to keep the neck lengthened, so ears in line with arms. Let's shift forwards to that high plank one more time. Unravel the spine. Find that space, that strength. And then lifting up, finding that lovely pike. Take a breath out through the mouth. Now slowly bring yourself to the high plank, but this time lower down onto your knees, uncurling the toes. The ball is still there, right? We carefully lower ourselves all the way down onto our front, so come all the way down onto your bellies. Now we're going to pop one hand on top of the other at the top of the mat, and then rest your forehead onto your hands. Have a little release through the neck, maybe turning the head side to side and making sure there's no tension in the shoulders. Keeping that ball between the ankles if that's available for us. We're going to exhale as we lift both legs off the ground and inhale as we lower. So some back extensions now. Breathing out through the mouth as we lift the legs, the ball off the mat, and inhaling as we reset. If this is too challenging, please feel free to do it without the ball and to lift one leg at a time and alternate. So I always encourage you to modify, to adapt anything that you need to. Try to keep those legs as straight as possible, pulling up through the thighs, and that ball is going to help you keep alignment there with the lower body. So we're working on the lower body, but we're trying to keep the upper body as relaxed as possible. So the head is fully rested down onto the hands. Using that exhale as you lift. Inhaling as we lower. Twice more here. Slow, steady. Moving with your breath at your own pace, within your own speed. We've got one more extension. Lovely long lift. And then as we bring the feet to the floor, we're going to keep the ball there and we'll carefully roll over onto our right arm, onto our right side. So coming over onto your right side here. The left hand is on the ground in front of you and your head is fully rested down onto the right arm. Please make sure you're on top of your right hip. Try not to roll backwards, okay? We exhale, lifting both legs again, this time in a side series, and inhale as we lower. So breathing out as we lift the legs, lift the ball off the ground, and inhaling as you lower. Just something to think about. Please make sure you're not rolling back onto the fleshy part of the bum. Not yet, anyway. We're going to move on to something like that in a moment. Trying to keep stacked on top of the hips. And your top arm can be on the ground in front of you, but please make sure you're not pressing down into that hand too much. The strength is coming through the side body, through the obliques, the waist, the hips, the glutes, outsides of the hips here. If you're feeling really wobbly, please don't worry. You could always take the ball out and do the top leg only. That's a modification. Please feel free to take it if you would prefer. We're trying to find the space, the strength, feel that length, especially if you're doing this at lunchtime. Maybe you've been working all morning. It feels great to kind of unravel and open everything up. Let's try this one more time. Big sweep up and gently lowering down. Now carefully, going to use that top hand to press yourself up to come onto your underneath forearm. So now my right elbow's gone underneath my right shoulder. Really try and press away from the ground here. Big gap between the rib cage and the mat. So I'm going to reach the top arm down now. So both legs and the top arm is long. Now I spoke about rolling back onto the fleshy part of your bottom, because I'm going to roll back onto the bottom as I lift the legs and then slowly lower down as I come back onto the hip and press forwards. Okay, so working into the waist, draw the belly to the spine, lengthen and lift those legs if you can, and then control as we press back onto the hips and open up. If this is too much, please feel free to take the ball out, to maybe do the top leg only, or to do it with bent legs as well, okay? Ensuring we're pressing away from that forearm, working on our shoulder strength, our shoulder stability here, and trying to control it. A nice fluid flow as we're sweeping back, and then inhaling as we're resetting, squeezing the bottom, opening the chest, and pressing forwards. Slow, steady movements. We'll take this V-sit crunch one more time. So sweep it back, lift and lengthen, and then gently let's bend our knees, carefully come up, take the ball out if you want to, or we can simply transition round to the other side. So I'm coming over onto the other side. We'll come all the way down first. So let the head rest onto the underneath arm, top hands on the ground in front of you. Make sure you're settled here before we add movement. Then we exhale as we lift, and inhale as we lower. Only start to add in the repetitions when you feel ready, when you feel settled. Ensuring that if you look down, you can see your toes. If you can't, just slightly bring those feet a little bit further forwards. Making sure the head is comfortable. If you feel that you need to use a prop, maybe by putting like a rolled up blanket or something between your head and your underneath arm, that's absolutely fine. Or alternatively, I can't even talk then. Alternatively, remember you could take the ball out and do the top leg only here. As long as you've got that technique right, that's all we're after. Trying not to roll back, squeezing the bottom, and trying not to roll forwards onto this hand. Draw the belly in towards the spine. We're trying to find that length, so pulling up through the thighs and working into the waist, the outsides of the hips, testing our balance. Doing really, really well. So using our exhale, breathing out as we lengthen and lift the legs, inhaling as we lower. Let's try this one more time. One last lift. Then carefully, as the feet come down, we use the top hand to bring ourselves up onto that forearm. So elbow underneath shoulder, press the hips, everything's open here. Rolling back onto the bottom, we lift the legs and we carefully find that reset as we press the hips forwards. So we're rolling back, lift those legs, maybe bending the knees, possibly taking the ball out, doing just the top leg. All of those modifications are great. So please don't worry if you're not fully here. That's absolutely fine. Any sort of movement is really great. Adding it in at your lunchtime here. Working on your posture, inviting those shoulder blades together, activating the tummy, stretching out the hamstrings, using the breath, trying to find our control with our breath. Moving slow. One last time, one last lift here. And then we'll carefully reset. Use your hands to come all the way up. Let's take that ball out now, guys, and come onto our bottom. So our feet are flat on the floor. I'm going to take the ball and place it behind my back. So it's not the lower back, but what I need you to just make sure of is that as the feet are grounded and the knees are parallel, I'm going to bring the hands behind the head. But as you can see, my eye line is looking forwards. If you find your eye line is looking up to the ceiling and you're straining your neck, please roll the ball a little bit further down your back. If you haven't got a ball, please no worries. You can either use the pillow or you can come down onto the ground and do your abdominal crunches and the leg series from there. Okay. Hands are supporting the head, elbows wide, always a little gap between the chin and the chest. Draw the belly towards the spine. We're going to take a little crunch. So I inhale, carefully curving the body over the ball ever so slightly. Exhale as I lift up. I'm going to bring one knee in towards the chest. Inhale, placing that foot down, curving the body over the ball carefully. Exhaling, lifting the other knee as I find that abdominal crunch. So please be delicate with yourself here. Move quite slowly. Don't completely collapse over the ball. I don't ever want you to feel that your back is collapsing or you feel that abdominals are doming upwards. If at any point this feels too intense for you, take the ball out, even if you have a ball to hand. It doesn't matter. If you'd like to do it without the props, that's absolutely fine. So I'm scooping and hollowing the belly. Tummy will start to shake soon, probably, from my point of view. So we're activating the tummy, keeping the elbows wide, and we're testing our balance. We're alternating here. Really intense little sequence for the abdominals, okay, for those upper abdominals. So gently, gently, and I'm trying to kind of, in this 30-minute class today, hit most body parts, okay? So we're trying to hit in a whole body Pilates workout for you here today. Let's do this one more time. Big curve over, find that control, and then draw the belly in as we crunch and lift. Okay, both feet down on the ground. With or without the use of the hands, we're going to bring ourselves up to seated and then take that ball out carefully, with or without the use of the hands. Bring yourself all the way back down onto the mat. This time, once your head comes onto the floor, I'm going to lift the bottom and place the ball underneath my coccyx. So again, if you've got a pillow, absolutely fine, use that. I'm placing the ball underneath the coccyx. Hands coming down by the sides, palms of the hands on the ground. Let the shoulders fall heavy here. Head is rested onto the mat. So just take a moment, notice that feels quite comfortable, takes away a little bit of pressure from the lower back, lifts your pelvis slightly. Once you feel settled, lifting one leg at a time into tabletop. So we test our balance. Both knees over the hips and feet in line with the knees. Maybe if you need to, take your arms a little bit wider. That might help you feel more stable here, okay? Drawing the belly to the spine. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to do a little scissor extension. So I'm going to take one leg up towards the ceiling as I extend the other leg away towards the end of the mat. Then inhale as you bring the legs into tabletop. Exhale, change sides. One leg goes up and one leg extends out. Inhale, bring it back into tabletop. So you can see this little fluid movement here. I exhale, extend. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, alternate the other way. Inhale, bringing it in, okay? If this feels really challenging and you're wobbling all over the place thinking, oh my goodness, maybe put one foot onto the floor and focus on extending one leg up towards the ceiling and alternating, okay? Always plenty of options. Please never feel that you can't make a Pilates class your own, okay? So arms could go a little bit wider, or we could have one foot on the ground as we're extending one leg up to the ceiling. If you are doing this scissor switch, really try and extend the leg up and the other leg away. Maybe take a little pause at the top so you get that space, that length. And then switching. Let's do two more if we're able to. Last two here. Head should be fully rested. No tension in the shoulders. Try not to hold onto your mat or your carpet or wherever you are. And then we'll slowly bring those legs in. Carefully place one foot down at a time. Gently lift your bottom off the ball so we can take the ball out, and carefully roll down so your bottom comes back onto the mat. Once you get there, hugging both knees in towards the chest, take a moment to press your back into the mat. Feel the security of the flat mat beneath you. Placing the ball in between your knees whilst you're here. And then carefully pop both feet down on the ground, heels quite close to the bottom, arms down by your sides. So we're going to do a few bridge rolls, team, okay? Take a breath. On the exhale, push your back into the floor, lift your bottom, ground down through the heels as you lift the hips up, making sure we're pressing the heels, the hands into the mat, and then take a breath at the top before rolling down through the spine. Slowly, slowly realign your back until the bottom touches the floor last. Let's do that again, okay? So breathing in, exhale as you lift the hips, squeeze the knees into the ball, make sure the inner thighs are engaged as well. Pause at the top of the bridge, feel that space, that openness through the front of the body, and then we're carefully rolling down through the spine. Okay, this time, would you like to meet me at the top of the bridge? So we're going to come all the way up. Let's pause here at the top of our bridge. Now we're going to try and pop our ball. So what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze the ball whilst we're here in bridge. So we go squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Now you can't probably see that on camera. I'm trying to squeeze my knees into the ball and then realign, but obviously without dropping the ball. Keeping those hips level, keeping the bottom lifted if you can. I go squeeze, release, squeeze, release. See if we can go here for 4, for 3, for 2. Now make sure after the last one, we roll down slowly through the spine. Gently, 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 gently. Now we're going to lift those legs into tabletop as we bring the arms up over the chest. So a little dead bug position here. Hands over shoulders, knees over hips. I'm going to exhale as I carefully tap both feet down towards the ground, keeping the legs bent as the arms come overhead. And then inhale back into that little dead bug position. So I'm breathing out, carefully tapping both feet towards the ground, arms coming over, and then resetting back to the position. If you're feeling this in your back, please take the ball out and tap 1 foot at a time. Or alternatively, don't bring the feet all the way down to the mat, okay? Make the movement smaller. Doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter if the thumbs don't touch the ground or if the toes don't touch the floor. Not a problem at all. Breathing out as you go down, scoop and hollow that belly. Inhaling as we come back. Let's try this one more time. Exhaling, tapping down. We're going to leave those legs in tabletop and then bring the hands, interlace them together and cup the hands behind the head. Basic abdominal crunch. We exhale, lift up, look through the legs and inhale as we lower. So a basic crunch, exhaling as we lift, elbows wide, inhaling as we come down. The feet are in line with the knees. Don't let them drop too close towards the ground, okay? The ball is still between the knees, keeping that alignment there. We'll try this twice more. Exhale up. Inhale as we come down, possibly finding that abdominal hold with me. So staying here, elbows wide. That squeeze we did in bridge, we're coming back. I'm going to go squeeze, release, squeeze, release. I'm trying to bring the legs together, squeezing the ball while staying in an abdominal hold. Okay, inner thighs are switching on. We squeeze for 6, for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Carefully bring your head and shoulders down onto the ground. Hug those knees in towards you, pressing your head, your back firmly into the mat here. Lovely little breath. Maybe even start to turn the head side to side. Just roll the back of the head on the floor. Be aware of how the neck, the shoulders, the upper back are feeling here. And then you can either come into center and roll yourself up to seated, or feel free to use your hands if you need to. Come and join me. I'm going to find a cross-legged seated position if that feels okay for you. Feel free to sit onto a pillow, rolled up blanket if you need to. And then when you're ready to join me, ball underneath one hand. We're going to take a little side bend, rolling down that ball as we open up through the side body. And then carefully easing off. We'll stay on the same side, gently rolling into the ball, sweeping the arm over. Try to keep the chest open here. Let's do that one more time, keeping the bottom on the ground, feeling that space through the rib cage, through the chest, also through the hips. Now coming to center, inhale, bring both arms up to the ceiling, switch hands with the ball, exhale as you bring the arms down. We'll do that side bend the other way, rolling through the ball as the arms coming up and over, and then sweeping back to center. Okay, nice and gentle here, slowing down the breath, opening up through the body, and realigning that posture towards the end of our practice. Let's pause here as we come back through to center again. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Exhale as you bring the arms down. I'm going to place the ball down now and just leave it there. Hands resting gently onto the knees. A little cat and cow. Inhale as we open up, eye-line lips. Exhale as we round the back, chin to the chest, curving the spine. Inhale, lifting up, opening up, slight arch. And exhale as we curve, round off. Let's find our neutral spine, so stacking the shoulders over the hips. Inhale, a couple of gorgeous shoulder rolls here. Inhale as you lift the shoulders. Exhale as you drop them down the back. Moving with the breath, resetting our posture. Let's do this one more time. And then all together, we'll inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Big stretch here. Turn the palms of the hands to face the ground. And exhale as you bring them all the way down. And you are done. I really hope you enjoyed that Pilates class there today, incorporating the soft ball. I would love to see you on the mat again sometime soon. Come and find me on Instagram, Pilates and Yoga with Jade. I'll see you soon.